been able to get out for the last couple of weeks, so I thought I'd brave the cold and enjoy this winter sunshine before the beast from the east arrives later in the week. That's what the media have christened the impending snow, which is heading our way from Russia. Eyebrook is very popular with walkers and cyclists as well as nature lovers, and it lies just across the border from me in the county of Rutland. Well, despite the cold and the imminent snow, a few buds have started to come through now. There's a little bit of bird life out there, but it's well scattered. We've got a few mute swan, unfortunately no hoopers, and some tufted duck. All quite a way out though. We've got some widgeon there, and some grey lags have just flown in from the fields, but there's a few still left out there grazing in the winter sunshine. Not many small birds on view in the hedgerows, just this blue tip. This is a little bit further along towards the north end of the reservoir. Got massive gulls out there, mainly black-headed gulls by the look of it, but it's always worth scanning big flocks of gulls like this for something that's maybe a little bit more interesting. Okay, I've reached the northern inflow now, and sometimes, on occasion, bitterns can be seen in this area. It's just on the border with Leicestershire. Just cross the bridge and you're in Leicestershire. And on the opposite side of the bridge there's some feeders. Just looking at those now, we've got the usual suspects. Great tip. And this is probably the bird of the day. Great spotted woodpecker. I think it's a female. I can't see any red on the back of the head there and neck. I don't mind filming birds on feeders, but when it comes to stills, like most photographers, I like a more natural looking photograph. And mostly the birds will come onto the surrounding branches first, allowing you to get a more natural looking photograph. And just at the base of the feeders we've got a hen pheasant come in to feed. Well, about 3/4 of the way around the reservoir now. It really is a beautiful winter's day, the sun glinting off the water there. As you can see, Eyebrook is a nature reserve, but there's no access to the public, but making your way around the perimeter road affords good views of what's out there. There are no public hides here, but there is a viewpoint just off the perimeter road with these identification boards, which are handy if you need help identifying the various species. Got some widgeon on view at the moment. When the ospreys are back, you also get ospreys here. No ospreys yet, it's too early, but we've got a red kite out there. And I saw it had something in its talons there, but it's actually a stick, so it's obviously rebuilding nests. They'll have maybe 2 or 3 nest sites, and then they'll choose one when they're ready to breed around about April. Got a hen blackbird with a very dark beak there, which can mean it's a migrant from the continent. A little robin. These hedgerows are pretty good for birds normally. Get lots of yellow hammers, but unfortunately none today. A little bit further round now I can hear teal, and indeed there's one at the edge of the water there, and to the left of it a moorhen, and a bigger group a little bit further along to the right, and yet more black-headed gulls. And cormorant by the water's edge. A little bit further along, looking out into the fields opposite the reservoir, and this derelict barn used to be home to a pair of barn owls, but it's lost its roof now. Just heading back to the Great Eastern Road now, and looking out into the fields we've got red-legged partridge. These birds are a pretty common sight here in the UK, unlike the grey partridge, which is native. But unfortunately that has really declined. I haven't seen one in a long time. That's almost it. Pretty uneventful trip here, but nonetheless enjoyable to get out in the winter sunshine, and I'll see you next time.